sir.
Let us revise the yesterday whatever we have studied and let's move forward. Uh, yesterday we have started studying the nucleophilic substitution reaction, and we need to study uh, SN1 reaction. SN1 reaction, we call it as a unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. When we look at this, we can see that 2-chloro-2-methyl propane, when attacked by the nucleophile OH minus, it gives us 2-methyl 2-propanol, and Cl minus behave as a leaving group, my dear students, here. So now we need to study this reaction in detail. So let us look at the mechanism of this reaction. When we look at the mechanism, my dear students, we come to know that the above reaction, which we have just seen, follows the SN1 mechanism, which involves two steps. In the first step, my dear students, what happens that we have a tetrahedral sp3 hybridized 2-chloro-2-methyl propane. This 2-chloro-2-methyl propane, which is present here, into the polar medium with a very slow step, it is being converted to triangular planar sp2 hybridized cation carbocation. This carbocation, whatever it is being produced, is because of the polar effect dissociation of the tetrahedral sp3 tetrahedral sp3 compound. You can see here I have tried to show you that the chlorine leaves this compound by taking the electron of this bond. The electron of this bond is being taken away by chlorine, and chlorine move itself as a Cl minus chloride ion as a leaving group, and we get a triangular planar sp2 hybridized carbocation. The first step is slow step. The first step, tetrahedral alkyl halide turns into triangular planar carbocation. Hybridization changes from sp3 to sp2. This step is comparatively slow, and as it is slow step, we studied into the chemical kinetics that it determines the rate of reaction. Now we have the second step. In the second step, the OH minus, you can see here this OH minus which is the nucleophile. This nucleophile attacks on the triangular planar sp2 hybridized carbocation. This OH minus can attack from this direction. So this is the direction of the attack of the OH minus. But only 50% of the OH minus attacks from this direction, because there is another direction available. This is the another direction exactly from the opposite side of the carbocation. This direction of attack is possible by OH minus, and 50% of the OH minus, 50% of the nucleophile attacks from the opposite side of this carbocation. This is a tertiary carbocation. OH minus attacks from both the side equally. 50% of the OH minus attacks from the left side, then the 50% OH minus attacks from the right side. This is how it happens, and thus we get tertiary alcohol as a product, which is again a tetrahedral in shape. So here in the second step, the triangular planar sp2 hybridized carbocation turns into tetrahedral alcohol. You can see here that one species reacting here is a carbocation, which is having a positive charge. Another species reacting here is a nucleophile with the negative charge. Both are the ionic species, and as both the species are ionic in nature, the reaction is going to be very fast, because ionic reactions are very fast. They are spontaneous, and that is why compared to the previous step, which was comparatively slow, comparative to the first step. The first step, which was slow step, which was the rate determining step. This step is very fast step. This step is not putting itself into the determination of the rate of reaction because it is a fast step. The second step, nucleophile OH minus ion attacks on the carbocation from both the side equally. Please remember that this carbocation attack from both the side equally and give final product. This final product is your tertiary alcohol. Hybridization changes from sp2 to sp3. You can see that the carbocation was sp2 hybridized, whereas alcohol is sp3 hybridized. This is a fast step as two ionic species. Remember, two ionic species. One is OH minus, another is carbocation. React with each other. These two ionic species react with each other. From the slow step, remember, from the slow step, we determine the rate of reaction. And that is why the rate of reaction is proportional to the concentration of alkyl halide. Rate depends on concentration of a single species, that is your alkyl halide. Now, my dear students, we are going to study about SN2 reaction, which is a bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. The example for this bimolecular substitution reaction is chloromethane on attack with OH minus nucleophile give methanol. You can see here, my dear students, that chloromethane, which is an alkyl halide, is attacked by the nucleophile OH minus. Finally, we get methanol and Cl minus as a leaving group. Let us look at the mechanism. The above reaction follow SN2 mechanism, my dear students, which is a single step reaction which involves the transition state. Now look at this. This is your chloromethane. OH minus attacks from one side. As OH minus attack from one side, OH get bonded to the carbon. At the same time, chlorine is even bonded to the carbon. This state is considered to be the transition state. We cannot isolate this state. We cannot separate this as a compound. You can even see that the carbon here is bonded with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 various atoms or group of atoms. That is why we cannot isolate it. It is not stable. It is just to understand how the mechanism takes place. Now you can see that here we have represented this OHC bond with the dots. At the same time, we have CCl bond even represented with the dots. Now why do we put these bonds in the dotted form? Because the bond between OH minus and C had started to be forming. It has not completely formed. It is just in the action of a formation of the new bond. At the same time, my dear students, the bond between carbon and chlorine is being broken, is in the state of being broken. It is breaking itself. So the bond has not completely been broken. The bond is still there and still it is breaking itself. So the newly formed bond is forming, whereas the old bonds are being broken. These two action takes place simultaneously in the transition state. Now let us look at these hydrogen atoms. You can see that these hydrogen atoms are in a particular side or are mostly towards the opposite side of Cl, because Cl is comparatively bigger in size, and that is why due to steric hindrance, due to steric effect, this hydrogen tries to put themselves away from the chlorine. Now what happens when OH minus attacks from some or the other way? As this OH minus attacks, here, my dear students, we can easily understand that due to the attack of this uh, OH minus, we can see that these H atoms, they have shifted themselves. They are arranged in a particular manner. You can see that this hydrogen is coming towards you. This hydrogen is going away from you at the outside of the plane. And that is why we have represented this hydrogen by the dash and wedge bond. You can see here this hydrogen is in the same plane as the carbon. So this carbon and this hydrogen are in the same plane, but this hydrogen coming towards you and this hydrogen going away from you. To make you understand this situation, my dear students, I have a particular figure to make you understand about the transition state. Think of a tire in your two-wheeler where the center of the tire is made up of carbon. This center of the tire has spokes, and these spokes are made up of these three hydrogen. Whereas the vehicle is joined with this tire with the help of the axles. These axles are available on a cylindrical formation. This cylindrical formation represents the OH and Cl. So this is how, my dear students, you can truly understand the situation of this transition state where carbon is bonded to 5 different atoms. Now what happens? This Cl simply leaves as a Cl minus by taking the electrons from this bond. This Cl simply turns out to be Cl minus by taking the bonds of this, bonds. So as this Cl minus, as this Cl is available, this Cl minus takes this bond, and thus this hydrogen, my dear students, generally looks like moving towards the opposite side, because now OH minus had made the bond. As this OH minus make the bonds, as this OH minus has made the bonds, this hydrogen again feels the steric, these three hydrogen again feels the steric hindrance. Due to steric effect, they turn themselves into a particular direction and they move in this direction. So this hydrogen moves in this direction, and that is why those hydrogen which were available here initially at the left side, now due to the steric effect of OH minus, this hydrogen moves towards the right side. This is how it works, my dear students. This is how it goes. So when this happens, you can say that the configuration, the symmetry of this compound, the configuration or the symmetry of this compound is being changed. Initially, it was like, it was like an umbrella which is open. But due to the heavy forced wind, the umbrella turns inside out, my dear students. This umbrella turns inside out. This umbrella turns itself into the another manner. The same way, these hydrogen which were present at the left side, during the process of SN2, these hydrogen completely turns to the right side. This process of movement of hydrogen from left side to right side is known as inversion of configuration. So here in SN2 reaction, the inversion takes place. You can see that I have written here, my dear students, that OH and Cl are on the axial. You can see that this is the axial. This is the axial. On this axial, this OH and Cl are bonded to the carbon, which is the center of the tire, whereas this hydrogen represents the spoke of the tire. Same way, this is the transition state. Now, this is only a single step reaction. So, this rate of this reaction, my dear students, the rate of the reaction depends upon two species. One is the alkyl halide, another is the nucleophile. So here the rate depends on two species, my dear students, in case of SN2. And that is why we call this reaction as an SN2 reaction. In this step, OH minus, that is the nucleophile, OH minus nucleophile attacks on the alkyl halide and make a transition state where we can imagine half bond formed between OH and C and half bond broken between C and Cl, which is like tire wheel of bicycle. Spokes are H atom bonded and Cl and OH are on the axle. Symmetry turns inside out when the product is formed. Now let us understand the difference between the SN1 and SN2 mechanism. First, we'll write them. One is written as SN1, another is written as SN2. Second, this SN1, the full form is unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. SN2 is written as bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Second point, reaction between 2-chloro-2-methyl propane and nucleophile OH minus follow the SN1 reaction, whereas the reaction between the chloromethane and nucleophile OH minus follows the SN2 reaction. This is the two-step mechanism, my dear students. This mechanism follows the two steps, whereas this is the single-step mechanism. My dear students, we have a SN1 reaction is a two-step reaction, whereas we have SN2 reaction, which is a single-step reaction. So this is even very important for us to understand that we have single-step reaction, we have two-step reaction that we can see here. Then, my dear students, two steps are involved in SN1 mechanism. Let us study the SN1 mechanism. In step 1, that is the formation of carbocation, and step 2, that is the formation, that is the reaction between the carbocation and nucleophile. But in SN2 mechanism, my dear students, we can easily find out that transition state is involved in SN2 mechanism, which we can imagine like a wheel. The transition state of SN2 mechanism that is being imagined, we can imagine the transition state like the wheel. So when we imagine the transition state like a wheel, what happens? Intermediate has half of the bonds formed and half of the bonds broken. Now with what the half of the bond is formed? So the half of the bond is formed with the nucleophile OH minus, whereas the half of the bond broken with the leaving group Cl minus. This is what we can easily understand. So half of the bond is broken, half of the bond is formed in case of the intermediate. That is what we can easily understand, my dear students. Now, how do we imagine and how do we understand the intermediate state? So imagine wheel has a Cl. Imagine the intermediate state as a wheel, my dear students, where the axles are the Cl and OH bond, whereas the spoke are made up of the hydrogen atom. So this is how, my dear students, we can understand. And this is very important to note that the carbon is the center of this wheel. So this carbon atom is present as a center of this wheel. This is how we can imagine and understand this particular reaction. Now let's again get back to the SN1 reaction. We have seen that SN1 and SN2 reaction takes place in a two-step. Now, what do we see into the in these steps? Let us try to see. The first step of SN1 mechanism is the slow step. The first step of the SN1 mechanism is the slow step. You know, my dear students, that why is it a slow step? The step is slow because the step is considered slow because this is not an ionic reaction. It is the reaction for the formation. It is the reaction for the formation of the carbocation, and as it is the reaction for the formation of the carbocation from the neutral species, it is not a fast reaction, it is a slow reaction. So we can say that this slow step, which is the first step, determine the rate of the reaction. The second step is the reaction between the two ionic species, which is a fast step. So step 1, hybridization changes from sp3 to sp2, whereas in step 2, hybridization changes from sp2 to sp3, my dear students. This is what you can easily understand. Now the rate of the reaction, my dear students. Now the rate of the reaction for SN1 mechanism is directly proportional to only the alkyl halide, and that is why it is the first order reaction. Whereas the rate of the SN2 mechanism is proportional to alkyl halide as well as the concentration of nucleophile. The rate of SN2 mechanism depends upon the rate of the SN2 mechanism is directly proportional to the concentration of alkyl halide and concentration of nucleophile, and that is why this reaction is SN is of the second order reaction, my dear students. The symmetry of reactant. Now let us look at the symmetry of the reactant. For SN1 reaction, we can easily understand that the symmetry of the reaction, the symmetry changes in such a way that if optically active reactant is present, my dear students, thus in the second step, nucleophile can attack triangular planar carbocation from both the side 50-50%, and that is why in SN1 mechanism, my dear students, the phenomena that takes place is we get racemic mixture as a product, because 50% attack from one side and 50% attack from the other side, we get a racemic mixture as a product, and in SN1 mechanism, racemization takes place. But when we look at the SN2 reaction, my dear students, we can see that the symmetry of the reactant is changed inside out. We have seen that it happens. It happens as if, my dear students, it happens as if it is an open umbrella. This open umbrella, due to heavy wind, turns into the opposite side. The symmetry in SN1 reaction turns out to be inside out. It means the symmetry is inverted. It is the inversion of symmetry. It is the inversion of configuration. So if the reactant is B, the product would be L. Or if the reactant is L, the product would be D. That means if the reactant is dextrorotatory, the product would be levorotatory. And if the reactant is levorotatory, the product would be dextrorotatory. If optically active reactant is present L represents the levorotatory, whereas D represents the dextrorotatory. So in SN1 mechanism, my dear students, there is an inversion that takes place, and it is the inversion of configuration. At the same time, my dear students, if you look at the uh, order, so here in SN2 mechanism, inversion of configuration takes place. The order for the ease of the mechanism. So for SN1 mechanism, the order for the ease is tertiary is greater than secondary, is greater than primary, is greater than methyl. Now why this order is followed in SN1 mechanism? So we have seen that in SN1 mechanism, my dear students, in the first step, carbocation is formed. This carbocation which is formed, the stability of carbocation is of this order. Tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary carbocation. Secondary carbocation is more stable than primary carbocation. Primary carbocation is more stable than methyl carbocation. So this order is due to the stability of carbocation. But in case of SN2 mechanism, there is no carbocation is formed. The reaction takes place through the intermediate, or the reaction takes place through the transition state, and the attack of OH minus is easy when there is less steric hindrance, and that is why here the order is methyl is greater than primary, is greater than secondary, is greater than tertiary. In the first step, my dear students, carbon cation is formed, then nucleophile attack sp2 triangular planar carbocation, and that is why it provides enough space to attack from both the sides equally, that is 50-50%, and that is why there is no inversion but racemization in SN1 mechanism. But in case of SN2 mechanism, this is because the attack of OH minus to make intermediate or transition state is difficult for steric reason if the tertiary carbocation is present. But here the primary carbocation is present, which makes it difficult, which if a primary carbocation or methyl carbocation is present, it is easy for OH minus to attack, and that is why the order is primary is greater than secondary is greater than tertiary. Now in SN1 mechanism, polar medium is preferred because in the first step, the polar medium can easily make the carbocation. But in SN2 mechanism, we did not to make any carbocation. The reaction go via the transition state, and that is why non-polar medium is preferred. The secondary alkyl halide undergo SN1 mechanism when the reaction is going under the polar medium. And here in the mechanism, the rearrangement is possible. That means if primary carbocation is formed, it can rearrange itself to secondary. If secondary carbocation is formed, it can rearrange itself to the tertiary carbocation. But in non-polar medium is preferred into the SN2 medium, and that is why into the SN2 mechanism, the secondary alkyl halide undergo SN2 mechanism if the medium of reaction is non-polar and atoms are rearranged in such a way that thus the configuration turns out to be inside out. Now we need to understand some of the new terms which we have seen. They are the dextrorotatory and levorotatory, my dear students. So before we move to that, let me explain you something which is important and necessary for you to know. I hope, my dear students, you can see the screen. Dear students, can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
okay.
Yes,
Then look
sir.
at this. Then look at this. You can see that the red color is, or this is what it is, your OH minus. This is your alkyl halide chloromethane. So this
Yes, sir.
OH minus attacks on chloromethane. You can read it from here that the red ball represents the incoming hydroxide ion and green ball represents the outgoing halide ion. So this is your SN2 mechanism. The OH minus attacks on chloromethane. Then OH minus and chloride ion, they have got the broken bonds. You can see that hydrogen ion or hydrogen atoms makes the spoke of a tire like, and these are like axle, and then this bond becomes strong and clear bond. The hydrogen which were on the left side, they turned out to be on the right side. So there is a complete inversion, and this Cl minus ion, being a leaving group, remove itself as a chlorine.